Good morning. How'd you get on yesterday? Green screens? We'll take a look at mine. To quote a famous economist, ka-ching. How about that for a return? Live stream. I talked you through this match from start to finish. How to attack it. Laying over 0.5 goals at the start of the match. Now, can we get to 0-0 at half-time, as we did in the two playoff matches in the Championship? Yes, we could. 0-0 at half-time. Now, your profit or loss will be determined. You've got 40 quid to play with now to lay the draw second half, or do whatever you want with it. It's a free punt. Waiting, all the way down to 1.07. Now I can lay my full liability, which I didn't get on. Missed a fiver, and that cost me a lot of money. It's an extra 50, 60 quid. So what a pity it didn't get fully matched. But 1.07, full liability. I wasn't expecting anything, of course. I was expecting a 0-0 at full time and a break even. But as long as you don't end in a score draw in the second half, it's job done. What a fantastic play. And I really hope members got on, because this is the type of money which helps hugely, isn't it? And Starmer can't get his dirty mitts on it either, by the way. Tax-free. One or two others as well, including a lay of Chong Ging Tong Liang Kong, who took the lead. Shanghai Shenhua from 0-2 down to 2-2. Plenty of other plays yesterday, of course, but when you've had a massive win, I just was enjoying it too much. Didn't really play the 7 p.m s, but let's take a look. Zulta Varagem Ndenda was a play as well. I hope you got involved. I gave that one a strong mention. Zulta Varagem 2-1 from a goal down. Club Brugge scoring as ever. Shanghai Shenhua coming from 2 goals behind. So good result there for the 1.45 shots. Elsewhere, Premier League. Any real trades there yesterday? Not really. Once red cards are involved, I don't tend to get involved, particularly when involved for both teams. Sunderland Man United would have been a 1.09 or lower lay the draw, given the European element for Sunderland. But it's a case of Man United downing tools like Dortmund did with those 3 defeats in 4 matches. Man City was superb. Brighton was superb. First minute goal, allay the nerves. Chelsea, much improved against Liverpool. Stalemate for the European places. And you could have done what we just did with Stockport. You could have done that with Middlesbrough. You could have done that with Bolton. But you wouldn't have got a big return as you'd have got with Stockport, because the Bolton goal came in about the 59th minute. So it's all about whether you want to lay the draw second half at the beginning of the second half. You're still getting value, but it's in delaying where you make the big bucks. So you've got 0-0 covered. You could lay that draw whenever you'd like. The later, the bigger the return. But the later you wait, the more chance you have of missing the goal. That 94th minute goal, as you can see, unbelievable, Jeff. Wasn't expecting anything. Was expecting a bit more of the old Middlesbrough match. That was a 0-0. Again, you could have done exactly the same technique, and I would recommend you doing it for these playoffs. Tend to see 0-0 at half-time. And it's just luck of the draw if you're going to get a late play like the Stockport one. But as you can see, it's a risk-free lay the draw. It's highly encouraged. Absolutely superb strategy for these playoffs. Middlesbrough, as you can see, similar story, 0-0. You could have laid that draw at 1.09 or lower. And if a goal was conjured up, you'd have profited and profited well. Into Turku, took advantage of HJK and KUPS, both dropping points. VPS scored first, game in hand, but Guiniston equalised. French Ligue, I think there was plenty of plays here yesterday. It's just when I've had, as I say, I've had that big win. I just didn't need to search anymore. The main one, well, I'm not too sure. We'll be looking at the European element. Le Mans abandoned. I wonder if that's a deliberate act by the Bastia support. Looking at the German Bundesliga and the mighty Hoff. Single goal before half-time. I did mention in the live stream 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted in the half-time score market. And if you can get to the 2-0s, that's when you start making the big money. 1-0, you can make a break even. Augsburg thoroughly deserved this win and needed it. It's a European day yesterday. Stuttgart getting the win against Leverkusen to give themselves Champions League football, albeit temporarily at least. And Leipzig, easy enough win against St. Pauli. German Bundesliga, Zwei. Holstein Kiel losing could be the death knell for them now. Schalke losing to Nuremberg. So let's have a look at and see how the standings have changed with these results yesterday. Schalke are champions, so dead rubber. You can see these dead rubber sides, even though they are the better teams, not losing. This is all a battle for that automatic promotion place. Elversberg, not playing. Hanover got a 1-1 draw against Bochum Dano. Paderborn not playing yesterday, so it's a key single draw for Hanover. Still has them involved in the squabble, but they could have done that with that win yesterday. That would have taken them automatic promotion. So that draw, I would have laid very, very late on with that kind of motivating factor. In Italian Serie A, not much doing yesterday. Dead rubber, really. Cagliari and Udinese. Derby-style match. Lazio and Inter. Inter don't need to win. So teams that don't need to win don't tend to win, but comfortable enough. Red card helped massively. La Liga 2, heading towards the last day of the season. So there's a few angles in there, indeed. Motherwell and Hearts. Hearts, I think, got the equaliser after Motherwell scored first. Still in with a chance of the title there. Atletico Madrid, Celta Vigo. Yes, you could cover that with insurance. So break even there. Regardless of the lateness of the Celta Vigo goal, somehow I'd have had to cover that 0-1 and then have a go on Atletico Madrid. Sevilla thoroughly deserved that win against Espanyol if you're playing in-play stats only. And they needed the points at home, turned up and delivered. Malaga, this was a match I would have played. Gijon taking the lead. Malaga get involved with them. Gijon get red carded. Malaga then get red carded. But then you think to yourself, although I don't like playing red carded both ends, Malaga were dominating 11v11. So I think 10v10 they could dominate. And look at the motivation factor, something you should pick out with teams like Malaga. Boom. The win takes them to 66. They are safe enough, or they're getting safer in the playoff place, and they can have a tilt at Almeria. Although they'll have to start winning and Almeria will have to start losing. Not much doing in the Allsvenskan yesterday. Still watching brief, really. I did take on that Mjällby lead 0-3. We did get a 1-3 from Degerfors fleetingly. It's an early lead, 0-3 at half-time for a 2.1 favourite. Well worth doing at this stage of the season. Remember Tromsø getting walloped 5-0 from out of the blue. Galatasaray had to win. Did win. Came from behind as well, with Fenerbahce winning. They are now title holders. That was really the main play yesterday. Plenty of stuff for the bottom basement sides as well. Ayotspor, Turkish Yorkshiremen, important win for them. This is moving day. So the results yesterday, vitally important for how teams will feel on the final day of the season. You can see guaranteed champions now, Galatasaray. In reaction to that Fenerbahce goal, I think one match remains. So all business done at the top. So the last day of the season in Turkey, it's all going to be the bottom. 27 plus 3 is 30. Kayserispor, Karagümrük, their sole purpose is to get... No, they can't. They are relegated. I thought that was a relegation playoff place, but no. So Antalyaspor, Gençler Birliği. So it's all the sides that Antalyaspor can hit. 29 plus 3 is 32. So the last day of the season, these are the only teams you have to worry about. Turkish Yorkshireman, Ayopspor, fantastic stuff. Aye, Jeffrey Boycott, fantastic. Kazımpasa, Genco Baliki, and Antalya Aspor. Who were the better performers in that previous match? The winners were the better performers. Turkish Yorkshireman and Genco Baliki both getting important wins. So watch out for the last day of the season. It's only going to be involving 4 teams in Turkey. So your job is restricted hugely on that last day. So watch out. We already know our angles. It's relegation day in Turkey next time out. So let's have a look onto today's trading angles. All right, let's have a look through today. And I have been impressed with these Belgians. They just keep turning up with the goals. Club Brugge scoring 2 yesterday. So I'll keep an eye on Royal Union St Gilloise and indeed Genk against Westerlo. So we shall see if they can continue these odds-on favourites at home to deliver the goals that the market suggests. Chinese Super League. What I would do here, have a quick look at Odds Checker. Football/accumulator, just to give yourself an idea of those matches where goals are expected, particularly in the Chinese Super League. I noted the other day they got it absolutely spot on. With a 2.3, the favourite match, 1.49 I think it was for over 2.5 goals, and 5 goals in total scored. So this just is something I have a look at fleetingly. Any overs, at under 1.5 or under 1.6, just give you an idea of just a glimpse that the market expects goals. You can see even Stevens here for these playoffs. No surprise at all. 1.58 Celtic Rangers. Yes, both teams to score. There, that's probably a match to look out for. Köln and Heidenheim. FC Köln and Heidenheim, 1.48. So immediately, have a look at that match. Do these two have any motivating factors today to add to the possibility of goals? Hertha Berlin, 1.47. Anything under 1.5 can be devastating, can get 4 or 5 goals. And it does hint to us for both teams to score element as well, particularly with Greuther Fürth in the relegation zone. So we've got quite a few of these under 1.5s today. Barcelona, Real Madrid, ka-ching, absolute humdinger, that one. Both teams to score. PSG and Brest. So we've got quite a few goal fests expected today, and it's 100% odds-ons for over 2.5 goals in French Ligue at 8 o'clock. So do bear that one in mind. So that's just a little technique to give you a glimpse. 1.45, 1.42, 1.48, 1.33. So in the Dutch Eredivisie, you might want to do an over 2.5 goal accumulator today. That's very rare. Look at that. How many of those are 1.4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them around 1.4. Do an over 2.5 goal accumulator at your bookies today for the Eredivisie. I think it might give you a good run for your money, that's for sure. So that's just a little way for you to get a glimpse. So did we get anything in China? Not sure we did. China would be all the way down here. It's only Chinese Super League. You can see the nearest one will be Beijing Guanfather, have a cup of tea. And Lyon Ironman, 1.53. So bring your WD-40 for you, Mr. Ironman. So that would be one to look out for. Look at these tomorrow. Look at the scorelines tomorrow and see whether they were over 2.5 goals. And indeed, if there's any other patterns like both teams to score that you could unpack using oddschecker.com. And we've got another great way. We can try to find those 0-0s at half time, can't we? You could lay over 0.5 goal start of the match. If you can get a 0-0 at half time, we can lay that draw second half for a free punt. Vejle and Fredericia. Well, Vejle keep consistently producing goals. Copenhagen have enjoyed their Superliga relegation group. They do allow both teams to score, have had a bit of fight. Midland, old reliables, but not priced to be old reliables today. So be very, very wary at 2.15. Certainly, your primary focus will be the in-play stats to confirm whether the old reliables are reliable. Burnley and the Villains today. It's all about Europe, I think, for a few of these sides. But we've also got the small matter of the hamsters playing Arsenal. Hamsters and the arse later on. So guaranteed Champions League football. You can see Liverpool, Aston Villa not guaranteed Champions League football. Bournemouth can get them. Bournemouth, I don't think Bournemouth got that win yesterday, did they? So this is the onus is on Aston Villa. Now they've got the Europa League final to think about. They are guaranteed football, aren't they? And if they win the final, they're guaranteed Champions League football. But here they can do it themselves, particularly when you're expected to get 3 points against an already relegated Burnley and Wolves. So it's vitally important for Aston Villa to try to get something out of this to follow up the Europa League semi-final beating of Nottingham Forest. It's a Scott McGinn, the McGinn show. Crystal Palace against Everton. Looking at 53 as the entry point for Europe. Everton on 48. Getting increasingly adrift, 5 points adrift. They must win today. It's as simple as that. If they've got any European ambitions, with Brighton winning yesterday, Bournemouth winning yesterday, Brentford losing, Chelsea drawing, Everton must take advantage of these two dropping points. Look for a win somehow against Crystal Palace. Might take advantage of Palace coming off the back of that Conference League semi-final against Shakhtar Donetsk. Palace all the way down the bottom there, safe enough. So it's a dead rubber for Palace. You're likely to see team changes now they are confirmed in the final. So this could be a great opportunity for Everton here today. Nottingham Forest been hugely impressed with them under the new manager. 42 points. Can't really vie for Europe anymore. Are safe enough. Not mathematically so, though. 6 point gap to West Ham. Still a little bit of work to be done for Nottingham Forest. Meeting a Newcastle side who suddenly scored 3 goals from out of nowhere last match. Totally untrustworthy at these odds. West Ham know what they have to do. Quite simple. With such a negative goal difference, a draw is not good enough. It's a must win. And arguably, this is the slip-up opportunity for sides like Manchester City to look for. A London derby with a West Ham at home. Arsenal coming off the back of a Champions League semi-final. It's perfectly poised for an upset. We will see whether that occurs. What are you going to do with these playoffs? You're going to be laying over 0.5 goals at the start of the match, aren't you? It's a huge strike rate so far. French Ligue, Paris Saint-Germain must reply to Lens winning the other day. And at the bottom, Metz increasingly adrift. Auxerre need to start picking up points against fellow relegation strugglers, Nice. And Le Havre, can they take advantage of a Marseille who have simply gone off the boil, and how? Bundesliga, not too keen on it today, but you've just seen Köln and Heidenheim. The market's expecting plenty of goals, 1.5 or lower for over 2.5 goals. That could be the real angle there today. It's a must win, of course, for these sides. Running out of time, we've got Italian SerieA as well. Relegation, dogfight, Cremonese and Pisa. Cremonese look done. Fiorentina safe as houses. Roma, I think that's a strong play for Roma today with the European ambitions against the Parma, who are likely to aim for a 0-0 at half-time. Similar story, Como, I think they're strongly fancied today with European ambitions as well. Eredivisie will be checked, 3:45, to see how many matches are left this season. It could be we're getting near to the end. Barcelona, Real Madrid, both teams to score element, over 2.5, over 3.5 goals possibles there. Bilbao favourites at home. So see you a bit later on. I'm off to spend some of my 480 quid on a nice coffee down the beach. I'll see members on Telegram. Have a great day. Spend your winnings wisely.